Now, all our reason for being here in this world is to get something what we call moksha. What is a moksha? Is a knowledge, nothing but that. Okay, and in a lot of people you talk to will tell you there are 3 different ways you can get moksha. Right? They say you can get it through what we call bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, and karma yoga. Right? That's not true. It's not 3 ways. It's only 1 way. But these are steps. Like go to diamonds, you go eagle, then you go double eagle, and then you go diamond. Right? You don't say there are 3 different ways to do it. Okay? But what it is that the first thing what you do is when you apply karma, okay, when you start understanding what the karma yoga is, will lead you to bhakti yoga. Gives you devotion. What is bhakti? Is devotion. Okay? And once you do that, you'll get knowledge, which is called jnana yoga. And what is the knowledge you really need to get? Tat-tvamasi. Really, that's the 3 words. Once you get that knowledge, that's a moksha, really. But it's a kulin, then how come I have to go through all this thing and all that? Because most people don't even understand this thing, don't even believe it. Now, would you say, no, I say you are the Lord. Would you believe it? Me? How could be me, you know? Because you don't understand that. You say you don't have that jnana, that's why. You know? And you will require God's blessing to get this knowledge. Okay? See, if you knew you were the Lord, then something bad happens, you won't start crying and complaining. Oh, there is no God around. Right? When good happens, great, you know, you go to temple, do the sriphal and those, coconuts and all that, right? But when something bad happens, you say, forget it, there is no Lord here. Because you don't understand Tattvamasi. Right? That's why we have to go through first karma yoga. If you master karma yoga, you will be lead to this knowledge. You have to live it. You don't have to see how you learn something by living it. Okay? And how that's defined? Okay? It's defined, Krishna is in Gita about 2 places where he give a definition of karma yoga. One is chapter 2, stanza 48. Okay? Say samatvam yoga yuchyate. Okay? Say sameness is called yoga. Okay? Now sameness in what? Right? Now it can't be sameness in action because every action is different, right? If you have constipation, you got to take different action. If you got diarrhea, you got to take different action, right? The action cannot be same in terms of, right? So sameness cannot be action. Now every action has a result and result cannot be same. So sameness cannot be in result. Then what is the Lord Krishna talking about? Where you need sameness? Sameness in your attitude toward this process of action and result. Okay? What he says, you should have a sameness towards the results, how you accept the results. Okay? And I explain this way, every action you take, there is possible 4 results. Right? One is you get what you expected. Right? Second thing, you get more than what you expected. Right? And third thing is you get less than what you expected. Right? And fourth thing is, you get just the opposite than what you expected. Right? Now let's put that in context of the business the way we do. Let's say we show the plan, right? Now there could be 4 possible results. Say I show Carl a plan. There are 4 possible results. One, I get exactly what I wanted, means what I want him to sign and join, right? That's exactly what I wanted. Second thing, I can get more than I wanted, Not only he joins, but say, where is the next meeting? Okay, I want to come. He even shows up before I do. And start using his own boyo. You know what I mean? Right? More than I expected, right? The third thing, I can get less than what I expect. Next day he calls me and says, I'm returning the kit. Right? Less than what I expected. Or the fourth thing could happen, he said, sit down, Kulin, let me explain to you why you're doing the wrong thing. Right? He does a reverse QI on me, right? Right? Totally opposite than what I expected. These are the 4 possible results. Now, first 2, would anybody have trouble accepting? The last 2 is where the trouble is, right? That's where you gotta have a sameness. You gotta accept this result as the same. And how do you do that? That's where we call this thing called prasada buddhi. You accept result as a prasad from Lord. Okay? And your karma should be as a arpana buddhi. Means offering. Okay? Karma is something you do, you offer it to God. When I show someone a plan, I'm offering my karmas to Lord. Because I'm doing my action, I'm doing my duty. Okay? And the result is given by Lord. And I need to accept, like, how is your attitude toward prasad? Let's say if somebody who is a diabetic, now if I give him a laddu as a prasad, he would eat it, right? But if I give him laddu just like a laddu, do you think he would eat it? He'd say, no, I'm a diabetic, I cannot eat sweet. Right? But as a prasad, he would not, why? Because prasad comes from Lord. And our attitude towards that is different. Okay? Same thing we know in the ladies, if we give them a flower, what they would do? They would smell it, right? But if you take a flower from Lord's feet as a prasad, what they would do? Put it on eyes, right? It's same flower, but your attitude towards this flower is different because now it's coming from a Lord. Yeah? That's why the result, if you understand that all results comes from Lord, right? You'll accept it in that order. Whether Kal joins the business or doesn't join the business or returns the kit or tells me to get out of it, all results comes from Lord. So I need to accept that is in the same attitude. That's what Lord Krishna says, samatvam yoga uchyate. Because in stanza 47, same chapter 2, it says, karmanyavadhikaraste ma phalesu kadachan. Ma karma phal hetur bhurma te sangostu akarmani. Now this is the most misunderstood stanza I have seen in Gita. Like, you would see all over in India translation, karmanyavadhikaraste ma phalesu kadachan. You would say what? Do your karma, never expect the result. Right? Is that what you heard? Right? Now it's like telling farmer, go to the farm, work whole day and night, but don't expect nothing to come out of it. Right? Now where would this be, okay? What Lord says, karmanyavadhikaraste means you have a right to your action. I gave you that right. It's like a freedom. That's a right. I gave you a right, okay, to your karma, but you have no right to the result because I am the one who gives you the result. That's what it says. In next line, say, ma karma phal heturbo. Means, do not become the author of the result. That means, don't have a, see, why we see something is good and something is bad, because we have a preconceived notion about result. And if that result is not in confirmation with that, that means it's bad. Right? I always tell a story about this king. Some of you probably know before I say it now. Okay? But it's so, you need to really meditate on that story, because you need to live it. Okay, this king goes to jungle for hunting and everything, and one time snake bites him in the toe. Best thing to do is cut the toe so he doesn't get a poison, because at that time medicine wasn't what it is today, right? So what doctor did, cut the toe, saved king's life, he thought. But when king found out, he got mad, said, don't you dare, how did you do this? I'm a king. Right? Put doctor in a jail. Kings can do anything. Couple of months went by and he's still going for hunting. Now this time what happens, he got lost from his crew. He went in a place where a local tribe was doing yagna, right? What you call yagna? You do sacrifice. Now king's supposed to be the best sacrifice. So they got excited, said, today our Lord is going to be so happy because we got the best sacrifice. But to do that you have to prepare, right? So you have to give a snan and prepare them. So while they're doing that, they found out there's no toe, means there's an imperfect person. So they cannot offer imperfect thing to Lord. So they have to let him go. So he said, thank you Lord for cutting my toe. Now once it was bad, now it's good. Right? The reason it was bad because he didn't know the future. Right? Something probably happening to you right now. You may not understand why. Because you don't know future. Or you don't know what the real story is. Now there's a part 2 of this story. Okay? When king comes home, he relieves the doctors from jail and say, I'm so sorry, that was a bad thing I did, I put you in a jail. So doctor say, no, that was a good thing you did. Say, how come that could be good? I put you in a jail. Say, look, if I wasn't in a jail, I would have been with you. Right? So, see, that's called attitude. Right? Okay? That's the attitude you need. When you get a flat on a road, first thing you should do is thank God. So, but I missed my plane. Well, that plane could have been in trouble. You don't know. There are things happens in our life, we don't know why. Some of you probably say, Kulin, I'm working so hard doing this thing. Why am I? You don't know. You are getting result. Maybe you're making some mistake and God wants you to learn from that mistake. So that when the real person comes, you don't make that mistake, so you lose them. Yeah, I don't mind practicing to 100 people, and once I find 𝐀𝐽𝐫, I can sponsor. How would you like to sponsor 𝐀𝐽𝐫? Right? But what if you didn't learn all the mistakes, but then you lose Kantigal and then somebody else sponsors him? Understand? So you don't know why. Understand? That's why first thing you do is give thanks in everything. Okay, that's basically what you have to live by. Okay, and today, ask me now, we live that. In our house, there is no such thing as a disappointment. Okay? One day you won't believe, I tried to take my car out without opening garage door. Right? Ask me now. Now you're not supposed to do that, right? But I don't know, I did it. And halfway through I realized it. Now in normal condition, I would be mad at me, or not me, even I would be mad at Minas, basically. Even though she wasn't even around. I would have told her that if you were with me, this wouldn't have happened. Somehow figured something out to do, right? But you know what? First thing I did is thank God. Took other car out from other car garage, went to do my plan, everything. Called our handyman. He came and fixed it before time I come in the evening. And later on find out the handyman we used to use at the time, Kanti knows him. He had lost his job, didn't have a lot of money. So maybe God wanted me to break that door so he gets the money. Right? So hey. And you say, Kulin, how could you do that? Well, because we live this thing. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Everything you receive from God is a prasad. And prasad is always good. And when you do your karma, do is an arpana buddhi. And when you arpan something to God, it should be perfect. Remember, they couldn't use the king for the bali. Why? You cannot give something imperfect. That's why be perfect in your action as much as you can. Do the best you can. Improve yourself day by day. Do the best action you can. Okay? When some of us, we do that Satyanarayan Puja, right? We make that halwa siro, what we call, right? Now, when we do it for that, does it come out always good? Right? But when you make it other than that, does it come out that good? No. You know why? Because you put your heart in it. Same way, when you do all your action, putting your heart in is as if you're giving it to Lord, you will do the best. And God will give you result accordingly. What's good for you. Okay? Because we don't know future. He's the one who knows it. Right? That is what is in the second definition Lord Krishna gives about karma is yoga karmesu kaushalam. That's in chapter 2, stanza 50. Okay? And that's been translated also wrong. People say that you should have a skill in your action. Like, kaushalam is defined as a skill. Right? But skill in what? Not in action. Because I could be a skillful bank robber. Nobody can catch me. Right? I'm so good, I developed that skill so good that nobody can catch me. And I'm even going to do it as prasada buddhi, receive result, whatever. No. If I get 10 lakhs, okay. If I get 5 million, okay. I'll take it as a prasad. Right? Is that means I'm a karma yogi? Right? No. What God says, is kaushalam is as a man. Remember Kanti was talking about yesterday, cerebral fluid. God has given us this faculty of choice, what we call. So you should use your kaushalam in choosing what to do, what not to do. That is what the kaushalam is all about. Okay? And that is, now how do you decide what to do and what not to do? That's where the dharma comes in. You should do what according to dharma, not against the dharma. What is dharma? Do unto others as you have done unto you. Do you like people to cheat? Then you shouldn't cheat. Now you don't have to find a definition. Give me. We don't have 10 commandments or 8 commandments or no such thing. Because we don't have any. It's very simple. Do you want people to lie to you? Then don't lie. Okay? We don't say anywhere. We have not said that lying is bad. Because that's not a complete statement. Okay? We never say satyam vadam. Means you should tell the truth. But it had to be defined. You say priyam vadam. We say the truth, but say if it is sweet or good. Okay? If somebody is ugly, what's the sense of telling him the truth? Is it going to be in anybody's hit? Right? Is anybody is anybody going to benefit from it? Then you should tell the truth. Okay? And third thing is hitam vadam. Means somebody should be in somebody's benefit. Okay? And perfect example I give you is, let's say there was some bad person running around you who is going to kill you. No reason, you have done nothing wrong. okay, and you come to my house and say, Kulin, please save me, and this person comes, knocks on my door and say, have you seen Carl here? Now, should I do Satyam Vadam? Right? Why? Because it's not Hitam Vadam. Right? At that time I say no. Now I lied, right? But how do I decide what to do? I put myself in his shoes. Let's say if that was me running into his house, what I want him to do. That's what I should do. Very clear? Because the reason I said it, Kulin, how do I know all this thing? You don't. Just put yourself in that situation that if I was that person, what would I do? And you do that. That's basically where you use your Kausalam. Once this is karma theory, that's all. You don't need to read nothing else. You don't have to do nothing. Just understand something, that Lord is the one who is a desire. He is the one who gives you desire. Okay? And if you don't have desire, start praying. Praying where you show your faith. What is prayer? You show the faith, right? Who are you going to pray? Someone who you have faith in, right? So once you do that faith, what Lord is going to do? Gonna make your faith strong. Okay? So first step, once you start praying. Right? Kanti said yesterday that, you get knowledge from the books, but you get wisdom from the Lord. But unless you pray for it, God's not going to give it to you. Right? Unless you ask for the food, nobody's going to give you. Right? That's what the prayer is. And all you ask for prayer is, give me wisdom. That's all you got to pray. Give me wisdom, that's a good enough prayer. Right? Wisdom to do or wisdom to understand what I just talked about. Get a big desire, folks. Have a huge dream. Why? Which is in accordance to Dharma, by the way. Okay? And then find a way, do all your actions as an offering to Lord. Okay? If you go diamond, right, 6 people would be better off. Do you believe that? That means you should go diamond. Only reason you won't is if you don't believe in God. Let me put it this way. I'm just kidding in that sense, but I'm not putting that way. But what I'm saying is, once you understand this desire comes from God, not only it comes from God, desire is God. Why? Because everything is Lord. There's a Lord in you, there's a Lord in me. That's why I cannot hurt you, you cannot hurt me. But if you can, you will, I should still forgive you. Why? Because I should say that you don't know, I do. That's where the forgive and forget and all that comes from. That's why we respect everybody. We don't argue with anybody. We don't say that only way to go to heaven or moksha is through my Lord. We don't say that. Why? Because everything is Lord. And we don't put that down either. Because we know that, everything is same Lord anyway. Doesn't matter what method you use. Doesn't matter what God you believe in. You all go to one final place anyway. Because everything is Lord. There's no special thing. Okay? Because everything put together, entire universe and this Milky Way galaxy and billions of galaxies, everything is Lord. Okay? Once you do that, you'll have no problem. So understand something, this thing, you cannot get this knowledge by just reading or listening. You gotta start practicing. Next time something bad happens to you, you think it's bad, thank God. And see if you can. That's when you're learning slowly. But the first thing start doing is, start doing your action as offering to Lord. When you as you're doing the Satyanarayana Puja, how you make all the prasad. That's Arpana Buddhi. Receive result as a prasada Buddhi. Give thanks in everything. Okay? That's all basically what you have to do. Okay? And that's what our whole philosophy is all about. Okay? I enjoy talking to you guys. Start practicing and God bless you. Okay?